This Carl Reed with 24/7 Sports.
That means they don't take breaks if they 24/7.
Around the clock. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You in the class of 2024, you better stop playing around and make a decision. And I go in there with my wife, and Mike Norvell is talking to a bunch of recruits, and he's got it pumping, he's got it going on. I leave the room with Dan Lannon, but my wife stays in the room with Mike Norvell, and I thought she was gonna get in the transfer portal. If they are gonna be recruiting every day, you better be working every day, and that's the real deal.
Dr. Reed is like Nate Dogg. You know it's a hit when he spit.
It's time now to read between the lines. And our topic today, we've had many bumps and bruises with the rollout of NIL, but here's the latest. Former Florida defensive lineman Gervon Dexter, who's now a rookie for the Bears, has filed a lawsuit in Gainesville because of the NIL deal he signed with Big League Advance Fund for $436,000, apparently had a clause stipulating that Dexter would forfeit 15% of his NFL earnings for the next 25 years. His lawyers are arguing the contract is void and called it, quote, a predatory loan. This is a lot to take in, Carl. We know that, as I said, there's been some bumps and bruises when it comes to NIL, but this is a clear example of NIL gone wrong. Just first off, what are your general thoughts about this?
Well, the first thing we have to realize, Emily, is this is not an NIL deal here. This is, in fact, a predatory loan. What Caleb Williams has is NIL deals. Every time I watch college football this weekend, I saw commercials running to Caleb Williams. What this is Tony Soprano sending Chris Maltasante and Silvio to you every week to pick your money up. That's what this is. This should never happen. This is a predatory loan, and this needs to become an education to every player. And even when you think about the length of the NFL career, we know that the average NFL career is only 3 years anyway. So this is a ridiculous agreement to agree to anyway, and no player should sign up for a situation like this.
But a lot of NIL deals have already been signed, and he's not even in college football anymore here. I mean, how common do you think these bad faith NIL deals and these contracts, how often do you think that they take advantage of some of these athletes?
Every opportunity that they get. For you to work with one of the upper echelon agencies, you have to be one of the top players in the country. Everybody doesn't have that. You have a lot of agencies that are forfeiting, that are asking kids to give you 50% of the deal. They're asking you to give over your rights for your name, image, and likeness for sometimes 20, 30, 40 years. I've seen some of these contracts. So these things are totally out of control, and players are taking advantage of. They better go talk to somebody that they trust. They need to get their own lawyer and their own team, because you don't know what you're signing for. And guys that are desperate for money, sometimes they'll sign their name on anything, but this is very, very bad business.
Fix it for us, please, Carl. I mean, what can be done to fix this situation?
The first thing you need to do is you need to ask your college coach before you sign. Ask somebody in compliance. Show somebody your deal before you put your name on the dotted line that you trust. Ask your coach and your compliance for a list of reputable, respectable agents who have a history of doing good business. But situations like these, you're going to put yourself in a really bad situation. Think about it. You give up 15% of your NFL money, and then what if you have 2 kids and get a divorce, right? 5 or 6 years later. It keeps piling on. What kind of financial position are you putting yourself in? But players have to understand that you have to be. John Calipari would say this all the time about guys who wanted to leave the University of Kentucky early to play in the NBA. Are you ready to be the CEO of your own business? So every college player has to ask themselves, am I ready to be the CEO of my own business? Which means, am I ready to deal with NIL, or am I just signing my name to paperwork and I don't really have an understanding of what's going to transpire?
Best thing I heard you say was to call somebody that you trust that will help you out with this. Carl, you're my first phone call. Thank you.
They can call me, they can DM me and send me the contract. I'll have the right people look at it and make sure they're not getting scammed.
I love it. Carl will help you out. Thanks so much.